afternoon to all our participants who will join us together this afternoon for our PM session for the second day of the online training for the FEU and HIEd Bayanihan project. So this morning, we were able to hear from our lecturer, Sir Angelo, as regards the preparation of CELO. In this afternoon, we will hear again a very competent faculty from the Institute who will share with us the nitty-gritties of the preparation as we onboard online instruction. Dear participants, for me to be able to moderate the Q&As of our inquisitive audience, thank you very much, by the way, for being very participative this morning. It was a very interactive morning discussion that we had together with our lecturer. And so for me to be able to conduct some administrative tasks, an equally competent moderator will join us this afternoon. Let me introduce to you one of our dedicated and knowledgeable faculty in the department. May I emphasize as well that he is one of the brains of this entire training session. Allow me to introduce to you Sir Leo Cabanza. Good afternoon, Sir Leo.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be a moderator for today, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions that we will have in this event. Okay, so hello everyone. For our event for today, we will have our speaker, Miss Andrea Austria, to talk about the particular module, which is writing a course information booklet. So about our speaker, Austria is a graduate of Bachelor of Education, a major in Science and Health from Far Eastern University with an academic distinction, cum laude. She has an MA in Special Education from National University, Manila. She have taught for 12 years in private and public schools in Manila and Orlando, Florida, and now is a faculty of FEU, Institute of Education, teaching general education and special education courses. She is a regional demonstration teacher in Special Science Elementary Schools, or SSES. She was also a certified cultural exchange teacher by the State of Florida Department of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker, Miss Andrea Austria.
Hi. Yes, thank you. All right, good afternoon po. Before I proceed to my video presentation, I would like to create a simple poll for everyone. Can everyone proceed to the Q&A? By the way, thank you so much, Sir Leo, for that introduction. So I'll be creating an announcement and I'll post a link which will lead you to the poll that I will that I prepared for you this afternoon. It's sharenearpod.com. Please click on it and try to answer the quick poll for today's discussion before I go to my video presentation. Thank you. I'll give you probably a minute to answer the poll, 2 questions only. So let me show you the poll that I prepared for everyone. I just made this poll to see a quick survey if you are already familiar with the course information booklet. So let's see. Give me a second. Give me a second. I hope everyone's trying to answer the poll as of the moment. After this, I'll be showing my simple video presentation where you will get to see all the parts of a course information booklet. Then right after that, we will have a quick, not quick, sorry for the term, we will have a question and answer so we can guide you in crafting your own course information booklet. Based on the poll that I made, most of you are quite familiar with a course information booklet. That's great. And only 23.3, or some of you are still answering, I'm sorry. 2.2 are very familiar. That's wonderful. 17.8 are familiar. And then 23.9 are not familiar. That's okay. That's perfect. That's no problem. We will help you. We are here to help you and guide you in crafting your own course information booklet. And those who are very familiar, probably we can share more insights when it comes to crafting our course information booklet. Now let's proceed to the second question, which is, have you tried crafting your own course information booklet? All right. So 10.2 said yes. Or sorry, it's still moving. The survey is still ongoing. So 5.9 said that they answered no, they weren't able to craft their own course information booklet yet. That's okay. We will help you craft your own CIB. C, not sure, 13.7, and then yes, 11.8. Perfect, wonderful. All right, so basically, using this poll, we have a preview of how are we going to guide you and help you in crafting your own course information booklet. That's wonderful. So for now, I would like to share with you my video presentation, and then right after that, please feel free, or during the video presentation, please feel free to take down notes so you can write down your questions, take note of your questions so we can answer it later after the presentation. Thank you.
Welcome to Module 3, Writing a Course Information Booklet, or CIB. Let's start with the overview of today's presentation. We will discuss the function and components of a course information booklet, also known as a CIB. At the end of the discussion, you will also have a quiz via Moodle, and you are expected to craft your own course information booklet. To have a well-established online learning environment, it is essential to create a course information booklet, or CIB. The CIB is usually uploaded in the learning management system by the teacher and made available to all the students enrolled in a course. Online courses are different from traditional courses since communication in online courses is mostly written and asynchronous, or not happening at the same time or real time. It is necessary, therefore, for the CIB for an online course to be more detailed, and it should contain adequate information and examples. What is a CIB? As previously mentioned, the transition from face-to-face to online learning made the discussion of the content of a CIB different. Therefore, a CIB should contain adequate explanations and examples. It needs to be very clearly written, well organized, and comprehensive. In addition, since this will serve as a roadmap for students, a CIB should be written in a learner-centered tone. It should be concise, with additional information the students might need. Palmer, Back, and Stryper developed a rubric that assesses the degree to which a syllabus could become learner-centered. Let's take a look at it to further understand how we can craft a learner-centered CIB. They emphasize the expectations and responsibilities of the students. Students must clearly see the guidelines on how they will participate and what are their responsibilities in an online environment. Learning activities included must be achievable, aligned with the course expected learning outcomes, and must be flexible for both students and teachers, taking into consideration technical issues or concerns that may arise. There should be a clear calendar of activities that will serve as a plan or guide for learners. And of course, a CIB should be learner-centered to set the tone of the online learning environment, which is positive, respectful, and inviting. What are the functions of a CIB? It is imperative for teachers to discuss the CIB during the first day of the semester. This will help teachers identify and understand the students' online learning capabilities and skills. In contrary to Prensky's assumption that the current generation of learners are digital natives, we cannot say that all students are skillful in using technology for their learning. Although they are using technology every day, we should still take into consideration that some students are still relatively new to the online learning environment. Another function of a CIB is to communicate the attitude of students towards the online learning environment. As mentioned, the tone of the online environment must be positive, respectful, and inviting. Therefore, it should be supportive. Teachers should emphasize that students are free to ask questions and must constantly communicate if there is anything to clarify in relation to the course. The next function of a CIB is to communicate learning standards. We can use the CIB to help students understand the learning principles of the schools, course objectives, learning outcomes, description of available learning resources, and the criteria of every learning activity in the coursework. Furthermore, the CIB also communicates what is the role of technology in the course. It should also provide support options. Unlike physical classrooms or face-to-face learning, there is limited opportunity for class questions online. Therefore, through the CIB, students can be given various means to quickly relay their queries to the teacher. It also serves as a learning contract. It functions as an agreement between the teacher and students to what responsibilities and policies should be followed. To properly set the tone of learning and the mindset of students at the beginning of the online course, teachers must have a complete CIB. Teachers must take into consideration the different situations and circumstances our students are experiencing. For example, some students might be balancing schoolwork with either their family or work. These types of students will surely benefit from a CIB compared to a syllabus that lacks evident planning and comprehensive content. Let's take a look at each component of a CIB for an online course. First is your facilitator information. This will include your complete name, your contact information, and your availability for synchronous communication. Preferably, provide your school email address or your work email address. Providing your personal contact number is optional. Same with your social media accounts such as Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and Twitter. Next part is the course information, which will include name of the document, course title, course code and section, semester and year, course description and status, purpose of the course, and prerequisites if there is any. Next component of the CIB are the course objectives, learning outcomes, and university learning principles, which includes the course expected learning outcomes, which was discussed in Module 2, university core competencies, student-centered teaching and learning culture, general education curriculum and principle, and delivery methods. This part clearly states what students are expected to learn in a course. At FEU, we make sure that CELO, or course expected learning outcomes, are aligned with the core values of the institution. The students are also expected to demonstrate and develop their cognitive knowledge, soft and hard skills, and their discipline-specific knowledge. Let's take a look at the next slide to see FEU's core competencies. Next is the online learning environment, which include the discussion of what it means to be in a learning environment, the definition of online participation, teacher and students' responsibilities. It can also include an outline of the minimum technical skill requirement. You may specify or you may discuss the types of learning environment the course will have. If there are several options, you may put into details the different modality that the institution offers. This will also include the responsibilities of the students based on the chosen modality. It is also important to highlight the minimum technical skill requirement of the student should have, depending on the learning management system that the institution will use. Some examples could be familiar with the learning management system, let's say for example the Moodle, use of an internet browser, or downloading and saving or opening a file, copy pasting, and sending or receiving an email with attachments, use of Microsoft applications or other programs or applications that will be used in a particular course. Another component of a CIB is the assessment methods and policy on academic integrity. It will include the explanation of the grade criteria and its components of the total grade, how to view scores in assignments, quizzes, and graded collaborative outputs, and criteria for a passing grade. You may discuss the grading period and system. You may present the samples of formative and summative assessments and include the passing standard for the course and the grading standards. Still under assessment methods and policy on academic integrity, we have the instructions on how to submit assignments, take quizzes, and access collaborative tools, and also what kind of files the teacher will accept. To avoid flooding in your email, encourage the students to use the learning management system of the institution. You may explain the steps on how they may submit the assignment and the files that may be supported by the learning management system. Be specific with what file names you will accept to avoid lost assignment submissions in a pool of email. Assessment methods and policy in academic integrity will also include the description of class participation and how it will be assessed. It will also include policies for academic integrity and late submission. Explain how class participation will be graded. It could be in the form of formative assessment or a collaborative work or discussion. To ensure academic integrity and to adhere to the fundamental values of honesty, hard work, originality, respect, and responsibility, you must include your institution's policy on academic integrity. You may itemize how plagiarism or cheating may be defined. Set a ceiling for an acceptable percentage of similarity of work. You may also use plagiarism checker applications to do this. Also, you must include the deductions that will be given in case of late submission. Include in the CIB how late submission will be penalized. The last part of assessment methods, policy, and academic integrity are the list and sample model of weighted assessments and the list of rubrics. The teacher may upload the rubrics in the files and instruct the students to download this in their devices. This is to ensure that the CIB is being used as a roadmap by the students. They will understand how they are being graded by including the rubric in the CIB. Next is the learning content and activities. This includes the list of reading materials and the description of how online classes will be organized and types of activities. This may help in the development of the students' information literacy skills. The reading list will act as a scaffold of their learning. Next is the course outline and schedule. This includes the weekly schedule of topics with required readings, assignments, and quizzes with deadlines. It also includes a scheme of work and a list of important dates. You will also provide a study plan to plot the students' to-do list and submission based on your course outline. Also, take note of the important dates and include the holidays. Last component of the CIB is the student support. This includes the contact information for student support for academic concerns such as student's program head office. It also includes the contact information for student support concerning mental disability accommodations such as the guidance and counseling office. This is to ensure open communication and continuous student support. Including this in the CIB will make your students feel that you care about their academics and provide accommodations to the different kinds of learners.
There you have it, our components and function of the CIB. Sir Leo.
Yes, ma'am. There seems to be two questions, but they seem to be related. We have a question from Sir Julius Cancino from PUP Manila. Is the course information booklet the same as the course guide? And Ms. Sheena from PSU is also asking if it's also similar with the syllabus. So can we know the difference between our course information booklet with the course guide and syllabus?
All right. Basically, the course information booklet is more comprehensive. It's detailed compared to our course outline and our syllabus. So it will contain all the information the students might need for the semester in relation to your course. I hope I answered your question from PUP and from the other school. Thank you. Sir Leo?
Okay. So far, that's the only question po. I guess I would also like to, if I may put some insights as well. The idea of the syllabus and the course information booklet is that it's supposed to be detailed. It's in order to cater for the limitations that the online learning environment would, the things that we will encounter in the online learning environment. It has to be detailed because I guess there are certain limitations like the lack of oral and visual cues in communication and the limitations of the availability of student-teacher engagement.
Yeah, just to add to what Sir Leo said, it's a quick reference guide for the students. And if you, let's say, for example, you want to purchase an equipment or a gadget, you don't want a gadget which will include a course manual or, a manual or a literature that is incomplete. So since we are doing an online learning experience, or we are catering to an online learning experience, the course information booklet will serve as their reference, quick reference from time to time. And you can always refer refer your students to the CIB.
There also seems to be a comment from Sir Fernando Siquet Jr. He's saying that the course syllabus is also comprehensive. If we may get from this idea, probably he's asking, or maybe he's clarifying, what's the difference in details? what's so different about the course syllabus in the CIB if both contains comprehensive details?
All right. For the CIB, for the syllabus, usually it will include the course information and including the course outline, right? But for the course information booklet, this will also include the policies of the universities, the grading system, the detailed grading system, the reading list. Sometimes we put this in our syllabus, but there are also times that what we put in our syllabus is just a part of the CIB. Right, Sir Leo? So basically the syllabus is in the CIB.
Yes. There's also another question. From Sir Michael Angelo Ranyosa. Is the CIB only applicable for distance or online learning?
Definitely not Sir Michael, right? Sir Leo, yeah, from Sir
Yes.
Michael. Sir Michael, this actually Far Eastern Universities is already using CIB or course information booklet even before this pandemic happened. So we are already using it. So the students will be thoroughly guided throughout this semester. So even before we are already using it, not just during this online learning environment that we have right now.
Okay. Some are asking if they could have a PDF copy of the course information booklet, but I suppose we could answer that later. For further clarification, Ma'am Annabelle Bendia from DMMMSU, MLUC, La Union. That was a lot of acronyms. Nice. She's asking if is there a format to be followed in writing a CIB?
Later, we will be giving you a sample copy of the CIB. Basically, it will contain all the samples that I showed you. So actually, this will also depend on their institution. So let's say, for example, for Far Eastern University, we have the core values that we plotted within the assessments that we provide the students. So it will be aligned with the course expected learning outcomes and what are the core values that what we want to develop, we want the learners to develop. So if you have that, then you can do that. So basically, it all the parts will also depend on the mission and vision of your institution and but what we will provide you is the comprehensive parts of CIB that we are using right now. So it could be flexible, but technically what we have right now is, I believe, very comprehensive that will be very useful for everyone. I hope I answered your question.
All right. So, ma'am, in addition to that, there seems to be some other questions for the details of the CIB. Ma'am Jocelyn Santos would also ask if should we also include an accord of understanding between students and the OL teachers for the CIB? I suppose OL is online.
So what we do right now is, for my class, I asked them to give me a form. I asked them to accomplish a form that says that they understood or they don't have questions, or if they have questions with regards to the content of the CIB. So it's up to the teacher. It's actually very ideal to have that. So you will really see where the students are coming from. And of course, when you're crafting your CIB, you have to also still negotiate with your learners. You still have to ask them to contribute. Let's say, for example, the online learning environment or online engagement part of the CIB. If you want to ask them just to continue the classroom feel or classroom environment that you have, you can always ask them, would you like to negotiate on this part of CIB? Let's say, for example, the number of days when it comes to deadlines of submissions, or the online learning engagement or environment? Do you want them to wear the uniform, or they would like to negotiate, like, ma'am, you don't want to wear a uniform anymore, or etc. So you can always negotiate and ask them contributions to some parts of the CIB. Of course, the course expected learning outcomes and the purpose and goals will be fixed. It will be up to you. But some parts, students can still contribute to it. So it's ideal to ask them if they have understood the course information.
Yes, ma'am. And also, if we try to go back to the CAB right now, there is the list of responsibilities that both the teacher and student should acknowledge, right? Especially since we always see that there is a difference between online learning and traditional brick and mortar learning. So it's important that we understand that there are certain responsibilities that they have to agree upon, okay, in their CIB.
Exactly.
All right, ma'am. So we go back to Sir. There's also a recurring comment from Sir Fernando Siquet Jr. from the College of Education, Mindanao State University. So he says that the course outline is somewhat different because it only outlined the topics of that course for the whole semester without stipulating the learning outcomes. I don't know if we have the same terms. He's trying to clarify if that's his understanding is correct, or we have the same. They're on the same page.
Actually, course outline is just a part of a course information booklet. So it will just be a part of it. Okay, so when you craft your course outline, it will be placed in the course information booklet as well. I hope I answered or clarified your inquiry.
Oh, he also had a follow-up comment on that. Sir Fernando, said that in our core syllabus, we included Institute, VMGO, our college, VMGO, Vision and Mission Goals, the provisions from the CMOs, the details of the course, the details of the instructor, and the learning plan, which includes the topic, the learning outcomes, the TLAs, instructional materials, references, evidence of outcomes. So, yeah, he's just also trying to clarify the details.
Yeah, Sir Leo, do you agree that I think it's okay to include that, because all of this will be used by the students as a reference, and it's wonderful if they will know how they will learn this certain topic or module. So it's wonderful for our campus. We use a complete course module with our CIB, which includes the learning activities, right, Paul?
All right. So basically, the gist of it is that the more essential details are provided in the CIB, the better, because this will be the students' way of navigating towards the course and understanding their standards and so on. So those are the particular details that we have to include in our CIB, especially when we're trying to have a course delivery in online learning. Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Let's see if we have other questions. Okay, sir, here's a good one. Here's a good question from Sir Erdi Kajurao, the best Masbate State College. Sorry, I was focused on the acronyms. Masbate State College. So Sir Erdi is asking, does the CIB cover the whole program or just a particular course on the subject?
Thank you. Just a particular course po. The CIB will just be covering a course, your subject. So not the entire program.
Okay, so thank you, ma'am. Let's see. Are there any other questions from our participants?
In addition, Sir Leo, if I may, our core values, if you have noticed, we don't have the vision mission of FEU. Correct me if I'm wrong, no, but the core values are already aligned with the vision mission of FEU. That's why we also align it with the CELO, or the course expected learning outcomes of the learners.
Yes, great, ma'am. Okay, So a lot are saying, are very curious about the CIB and are quite excited to construct it. Okay, uh, let's see here. Okay, here's another question. I guess this is also um, for clarification. Sir Neil from PWU, he's asking if required din daw gawa ng CIB ang mga practicum or mga OJT.
Actually, they're enrolled in a course, so they have a CIB. They should have a CIB. So what will they do in the practice teaching should be in the CIB, because again, this will serve as their quick reference time. So even if you're not meeting from time to time, they can always go back to CIB and check what's happening, what week are we in right now, what should we do. So it will be their guide. So I believe it's still needed because they're still enrolled in the course, even if they're doing practice teaching.
All right, so long as they are enrolled in a course, it's necessary to construct a CIB for them. As you have mentioned, it is a good source of reference for everyone for the students to go back into, especially if they have questions and we have certain limitations in online learning wherein they can't just immediately get the questions from the teachers. So the CIB will do that for you. They will fill in the gap, right, ma'am?
Exactly, Sir Deo. Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. There are, at the moment, ma'am, there are currently no questions. Do you can proceed with your
Yes,
presentation?
I have a very fun activity right now this afternoon. I will be asking, since you will be crafting a CIP at the end of this module or this event, you will be asked to craft a CIP. Why not create some parts of the CIP right now? And probably questions will arise while you're trying to craft it, right? So uh, I'll be sharing with you a Padlet link where you can type in parts of a CIB while you're crafting it. We can see it, and then probably we can give comments on it, and then probably look for questions or address some questions that you might have. So I'll be putting it in, the link is over here. Just click on it. And then I will be also sharing with you a Google Doc that will lead you to the sample CIB. This is what they're asking for, right, Sir Leo? So they're asking for a sample CIB. So while you're crafting it, you can just remove some of the parts and then probably put in, based on your course, what the content based on your course, right? So I'm gonna paste the tiny URL here, sample CIB. I just have a quick correction when it comes to the sample CIB that we presented. We are going to use, again, a learner-centered tone when it comes to crafting the CIB, right? So I'll be showing you an example later. But for now, kindly try to access the CIB, the sample, and the Padlet that I use. Did you see the Padlet, or it's not there? Anybody? I'll read. I'll try to post it again, the link for the Padlet. I hope everyone's trying to explore the sample CIB that I showed you. What's easy is, here's the link for the Padlet po, the WJAQR30847JL9NB. What's perfect with this activity is, I believe you're all handling different courses already. So all you gotta do is put in information to complete the course information booklet. Probably you don't have some of the parts, then depending on your institution, you can probably change it or modify it based on how you want to do it. Let's say, for example, the core values. If you really don't have the general core values, probably you can put the vision and mission and then eventually craft your own core values. Or if you have that already, then you can create or plot it in your own CIB. Right? I hope everyone's crafting their, everyone's seeing their sample of course information booklet. For now, I would like you to try and create the first few parts of your course information booklet, and then we'll try to take a look at it. All right, so I'll be sharing with you my Padlet screen so you can see the submissions made by the participants. So let's try with facilitator and course information first. So let's try to craft the facilitator and course information part of our CIB and share it in the Padlet link that I shared with you guys. All right, so I already shared po a link of a Google document presentation wherein you can input the sample CIB that you created or crafted. Don't forget to put your probably school name or your name so you can be recognized po, and then we will show it here in the screen. Okay? Sir Leo, okay lang po yun? Sana po somebody can try the Google Doc if it's working, because I tried to put it in public so everybody can access. Thank you, Sir Julio, Sir Resin, for confirming that the link is already working. I hope the Google Doc presentation is working as well. It's working. Okay, thank you po for all those who confirmed that it's working. Again po, I would just like to also highlight here in FEU, yes po, since it contains essential details of how the virtual or face-to-face practicum will be carried out. Oh, sorry, this was an answer from a question that we had a while ago. So again po, all right. Some other details that are, if you don't want to share it with us, that's okay po. But basically, if you want to put in, you can type in another slide. Please type in another slide so you can craft your own CIB. So I am seeing right now a lot of you are already working on it. Probably I'll give you 5 minutes so you can work on some parts of your CIB. Sir Leo, we don't have questions po.
We have one question, ma'am, from Sir Julius Cancino. He's asking if we could, can they add the core competencies be from the HIEd CMO for our program?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question properly po.
Sorry. Can the core competencies be taken at our HIEd CMO for our program?
It depends. I cannot really say. Probably yes, if it's from HIEd. I don't think that would be problematic. I don't think there's nothing. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Probably we can make use of that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions po while we're crafting the CIB? Which part po will which part of the CIB will probably be hard for you to craft? We will be more than willing to help you craft it. So at FEU, we have different delivery methods. So we are also focusing on the student-centered learning. So even if we're doing the online learning environment, or we are experiencing the online learning environment, we still make sure that student-centered learning is happening in an online environment. So they will still be there will still be presentation. So it's all in here in the CIB. So also, I would like to highlight while you are working on your CIB, I hope I'm not disturbing you. I would just like to highlight the online learning environment that we have. We provided three modes of learning for the students, so they can choose which mode of learning will they would probably best fit their situation right now. We have the mixed online learning, we have which will be synchronous and asynchronous learning, so we'll be meeting online from time to time, and at the same time they'll be working on their own. When you also have asynchronous online learning, which requires good internet connection as well, because this is for highly independent learners who can work on the course, the content of the CIB, and the complete course module on their own. And the last one, if they don't have the internet, and if they want to independently work on the course as well, we have the total analog learning. So we will be providing flash drive, and this will contain all the this will contain the course information booklet and the complete course module for the semester. So basically, these three modes of learning, a student will choose which of these three will they love to use. But then again, the CIB will be their map in understanding what is the content or the progress or the process that they will go through in the course. So the CIB again will contain modes of learning for us FEU. Now, if you have also different modalities of learning, you can put it in your CIB. So even if they have chosen mixed online or synchronous online or total analog learning, they are still encouraged to join, or they are still welcome to join the online conferencing. So it's not just they're enclosed in a box wherein you are doing total analog and you do it on your own. No, we are still encouraging them. They are still very much welcome to join online conferencing in case they need help, right? So that is just a part of the learning environment for the CIB that we have, right? So if you just for some ideas. So another part, yes, Sir Leo, do you have questions or do you want to add something?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to also add that if they're struggling to understand some parts, maybe they could comment. They could comment if they could flash back a certain part of the CIB for their reference.
Yes po. Correct. Tama po. Right now, thank you, Sir Leo, for that. Right now po, some are still crafting their course information. As I can see po right now that you are trying to draft some of you are trying to draft the front page. That's wonderful po. You can also work on the other parts as well, so we can help you work on it. I'm so sorry if I used the Google the Google Doc presentation. So probably so later I will show everyone some of the outputs that we'll have kasi. So that's why I've chosen Google Doc slides. So hopefully po I can see some parts of a CIB, which will include the assessment method. If you want me to go back to it while you're working, I will go back to, I'll be sharing with you the sample CIB that we shared. All right, Sir Leo, can you see it po?
Yes, ma'am, we can see it po.
All right, here, because this might be very okay. Let's probably go to probably some of you are still working on this. Some of you are working on this. Hopefully, we can go skip that first, a little later na lang natin yung gawin. We can work on the facilitator po and then course information, which includes the course purpose and goals. Now, if you already handled this in this course, you can just type in, copy paste the information for the course purpose and goals that we have. Again, I'm sorry, but we have to put this part in a learner-centered tone. So let's say, for example, in this 3-unit course, Applied Ethics and Contemporary Times, you will be introduced. So we can change this into you will be introduced to interdisciplinary. Yes,
Hello,
sorry.
ma'am.
I'm
So
sorry.
before we continue further, can we also clarify, are they supposed to create a new document and then um, transfer the template or at least the format in another document so that they could edit it freely?
That will be perfect for if they will do that. They can make a copy of the document and then make it their own CIB, edit it freely. So, but probably by Friday, they will submit their crafted CIB. Tama po ba? The draft
Yes,
of
ma'am.
CIB. Yes. So right now po, I'm just asking for some parts. Basically, I ask for facilitator and course information, which will include the first course purpose inputs. Then
Okay.
probably later we'll go to the other parts if we will have more time. Hey po, Sir Leo.
Hey, thank you, ma'am. So basically, they will start crafting certain parts of the CIP, and but in order to do that, they have to create a new document, wherein it's the document. In that particular document, they will work in it, okay, so that there are no um, overlapping problems. I guess some of them are probably experiencing
Oh, okay.
uh, certain errors. I think they're probably confused that some are working on a certain file and
Yes.
suddenly there are changes happening. I guess they're working on the shared file as well.
Okay. Okay. Let me just clarify. I'm so sorry. This will be also a learning experience for all of us. Once we share a document in a, let's say, for example, a Google document, make sure to make a copy of it. So, especially if it's not a collaborative work, you will do it if it's an individual work. Make a copy of it so that it will not overlap po. Okay, so probably we will also experience this in our online learning experience. I mean, online learning class. Um, you will share a document and everybody will put their inputs in there. I'm so sorry po. Make a copy po because you will be creating your own or your individual CI. I hope that's clear po. I'm so sorry po for that issue that we just had.
And also, ma'am, can we also may I also add, where will they send their output?
In
Uh,
the Google account po.
I'm sorry, ma'am, what's that?
Sorry po. The output that they will be sending to us will be sent through their Moodle account.
All right. So after they created a new kind of document, they will send it to their Moodle account.
Yes po.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for the clarification.
You're welcome po. But for now po, just to clarify po, the sample CIB you should be creating your own copy of that. Now for the slide, we are supposed to create our facilitator and our course information, including the course purpose and goals right now so we can share it to everyone po. So we can give comments. Okay po? Clear po ba mga ma'am, sir? I hope it's clear. There are instances that we will have this kind of situation, but I know we can handle this and everybody can handle it because we are all new. I mean, not new, but not really that this familiar with this environment yet. So, yes, Sir Leo, about their Moodle account po. They have their Moodle account where they can be given access and they can upload it, right po?
Yes, ma'am. They will have a Moodle account at the end of the session.
Thank you, Sir Leo. All right. So going back po, if you don't have any questions, let's proceed to this part, which I think everybody will be using this. Responsibilities in the online learning environment. This is very important to highlight all of this, especially for right now, we are not meeting face to face. So these are the responsibilities of the teachers. You can also put in the responsibilities of just like what was suggested a while ago, the learners' responsibilities. And then of course, if there should be there will be technical issues, you can refer them to this. And this one is very important, the assessment methods, right? So you can break down the formative and summative assessment that they will have, and how many formative and summative assessments that they will have as well.
Hello?
All right. So what? Yes, Paul. Go ahead, sir.
We have some of our participants. They're saying that you lost your audio. Can you repeat some of what you have mentioned earlier?
Okay, but can you hear me right now, Paul?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Sige po. All right. So going back po, this is very important. Which part kaya? So hopefully, let's go back na lang here. All right. So for the responsibilities in the online learning environment, this is very important that we should highlight this so the students will know what are the tasks that will be done by the teacher and of course the learners as well. So you can include the online engagement for the learners over here. And then over here po, are the sorry, I missed this. If there will be technical difficulties or internet concerns or learning management system concerns, they can always have a help desk or call.
Hello, Ma'am Andrea. Are you still there? Please excuse us for a minute. We're experiencing technical difficulties. While we're waiting for Ma'am Andrea to get in to get back in our live feed, let's continue to work on our CIB. Okay, so I hope we are able to construct with ease some of the parts there. Feel free to ask if you have any other difficulties in the parts of your CAV. Okay, here is Ma'am Andrea. She's back. Welcome back, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Okay, so I guess she's also still experiencing technical difficulties. Okay, Sir Erdi Kajurao, you have a question po. Can we provide a link for the original file? Don't worry po, we'll try to check if you can send the original file again. Okay. For downloading the CIB, if you are able to access the file, you should be able to see an option on the upper left corner. And it would ask you, it's in Google Docs, right? So just go to the upper left corner of the toolbar of the screen. You'll see their file, and it would lay out certain options. Navigate and try to locate download as, and you'll be able to download the file as a Microsoft Word. Ma'am Iris Rowena of PUP Manila. Hello, Ma'am Andrea. Are you back?
Yes, po. I'm so sorry.
Hi, ma'am.
I'm not sure what happened. I'll be sharing another document for the sample CIB, no, because some of us we weren't able to make a copy of it, so I'll be resending it so you can put in your information. All right, po. Please remember to make a copy of the sample CIB. Please do not forget to click on File and make a copy so you can save your own po. We will not edit it as a group. Okay lang po. For everyone po, hopefully we will do this. I'll be sending again another document that will include the sample CIB, which again, let me just remind everyone, please make a copy of it po. Thank you. And then after that, hello po, can you hear me po?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you po.
Alright. Kasi baka nawawala na naman. After that po, I'll be showing the draft of CIB that you prepared or you created, so everybody can see it. All right, so for now, I hope you are not having a hard time in preparing your CIB. I hope you are enjoying. Now, if you have questions, please try to type it in so we can again help you. We have a lot of time to help you and address any concerns if you have any. Hello po. I'm not sure if the connection's okay.
Hello, Ma'am Andrea. We can hear you po.
Thank you. All right. So this link, you will be able to get a copy of another link. But then again, please make sure to save or make a copy of the new CIB sample that I will share with you. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's still loading, so. All right, so right now po, if you're working on your CIB, there are instances wherein you will be using your old course outline. Use that as a basis and then just modify it. The course outline that you already have before, just use that, modify it, so you don't have to craft a new one. You can just improve it, modify it. So right now po, we will be sharing with you the new link for the sample CIB. Probably I'll give you a couple of minutes to work on your sample. Then I'll show everyone the CIB draft that you are working with. As of the moment po, I'm only seeing two CIBs for facilitator and course information. I mean, two parts of the CIB. I can show it to you po. Yeah, thank you, Sir Mark Vincent, for your contribution. We have also Michael Angelo Ranyosa. I'll show them your CIB. I mean, a part of your CIB. Can you see it po? Question lang po if everyone can see it. Hello po.
Hello, ma'am. Yes po, we could see your presentation.
The draft CIB po, ito, sir.
Are you referring to, yes ma'am, to the Google Slides?
Yes,
we can see it po.
Thank you. All right, so we have from AMA Computer Learning Center from QC, Cubao branch, we have Mr. Angelo Aranyosa yan. So he already crafted the part, facilitator and course information part. And probably later we can see the course purpose and goals. We also have another one, which is from Taguig City University. We have Mark Vincent S. Manlangit. Ayan, do not edit my work. Please Control M to create your own slide. Yan po. So we have this. I'm so sorry if this will be easier if we can use Padlet, but I think Padlet's down. I'm not sure if it's working already. It's still down. So we will make use of this. So from Taguig City University already created or crafted. He's the facilitator part in the course information. What else? We have from Don Mariano, and yeah, there are the contents. We have Sir Archie from Taguig City University as well. Thank you so much, sir. So basically, you are just starting with your CIB, and that's perfect. That's okay. You can work on it. This is not an overnight task. I know it will be hard, but then again, if you already have some of the parts, which will be the course information, the course outline, the reading list, this is very important. Because even if they cannot contact you, they will just refer to the reading list and they can always do self-reading and studying, and they can always annotate and start working on the task that you have prepared for them. So that's very important that you will provide the reading list in your course information booklet, right? So right now I'm seeing few. So probably we can work on this part. We can work on we can probably work on the course purpose and goals, and then we can proceed to the other parts of the CIB. We can work on the course expected learning outcomes. I do hope that you've learned a lot this morning in crafting your course expected learning outcomes, and you could probably put in your samples that you've prepared a while ago in this area. You don't have to really put in the FEU core competencies as of the moment, or sorry, the school's core competencies as of the moment, because this is a work in progress. So we can focus on the course expected learning outcome. But then again, if you have the core competencies of your college or university, you can put it in, right? Yes?
Hello, ma'am. Just a quick announcement for everybody. Our Moodle is already operational, and at the end of it all, they can send the CIB later in their Moodle accounts. So it will be sent, the link for Moodle will be sent at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Sir Leo.
It will be sent, in addition, it will be sent to their emails.
There you go. Thank you po. All right, so you can make use of your Moodle account later. So once done with the CIB, you can upload it there. Probably we can take a look at it on Friday and share it with everyone. All right, so right now we don't have other questions, but we are waiting for the submission of the draft. I hope you can share with us the draft of your CIB. So it is important also to highlight the course schedule and the section. Probably some of the students are already lost. They're not really on that class, but they're attending it, especially online. It also will depend on your learning management system. There's no problem when it comes to attending a class if we have a well-working learning management system. For FEU, we're using Canvas, so it's easy. Students are automatically enrolled, they will not get lost. But if we are not really using any course information book, learning management system, it's important to really highlight the section, the course schedule, the consultation hours, so they will not be lost when it comes to their classes. So here we have, all right, so we have a draft from Ms. Ram, or Mr. Ram, Ram. There we go. We have here the course purpose and goal from Ethics and Accountability in Public Service. Yes po. For you can always change this to become more student-centered learning. But as of now, that's perfect for what you're doing. So just put in your purpose and goals of your course. And then, yes po, Sir Leo.
Just a quick question now. Miss Zizeldon Adesha is asking from MCU Maine. She's asking if they could submit the complete CIB on Friday. Just confirmation, since they really can't finish it today.
I truly believe that you will not be able to finish this today. I agree. Yes po, you will be submitting your course information booklet on Friday. And please bear in mind that this will just be a draft. We are not expecting you to create a perfect 100% CI content na po is well polished. That's okay po. This is gonna be a little hard. It will take a lot of time. So Friday po will do. But for now po sana, we can take a look at the course purpose and goals.
All right, ma'am. Since it's a bit difficult, as you've said, to complete and polish, a complete CID, it's important to know that what we're doing right now is just a draft of all the parts of the CID. So it doesn't have to be perfect at this particular time.
Yes, Sir Leo, that's noted po. Tama po yun. Alright, so hello. Okay, so for now po, if you're hearing me, again, let's just focus on crafting your CIB as student-centered. So you will focus on the purpose and goal should be, it will seem like you are talking to your student. So at the end of this course, let's see, for example, this part, if you are seeing this, you will exercise and make sure this will be of course, your cello should be measurable, right? All right, so you can change this to, at the end of this course, you will exercise critical decision making and solving there. So it's as if you are talking to your students. So here we can change this to, you will examine. So if let me take a look at this. This is from HIEd. So let's say, for example, this one. If I may use this, please. In this 3-unit course, Ethics and Accountability in the Public Service, ayan, the students will, you can change this to, you will be introduced to various ethical choices that may have to do with relationships between elected officials. So you can always do that. It will be as if you are talking to your students when you craft the course purpose and goals. So this is wonderful. Understanding the ethical implications of your actions, this is correct. Resolving the dilemmas they pose are among the more difficult problems that you will face. There you go, that's perfect, all right? So in this class, you will examine, so you can change this to you. So it's as if you are talking to your students, all right? So let's always take that into consideration. Do you have questions, po? Probably you can tell us which part are you having a hard time when it comes to the course information booklet. Hello po.
Hello, ma'am. Let me just check po from our participants what are the other concerns that they have for the CIB. Hold on a second, ma'am.
It's okay. I'd like to just say I appreciate the participants for being cooperative. We had a couple of technical difficulties. I understand that this will also happen in a regular online classroom, but then again, we were all cooperative and understanding. Thank you so much. And of course, let's always be ready with a plan B. Thank you so much for cooperating and understanding.
And also, we'd like to apologize for any external noises that happened a while back. We're really sorry. It's out of our control sometimes if there are other noises that would interfere. So at best, we're trying to resolve our technical difficulties at the moment.
Thank you, Sir Leo. Yes, po. Now let me just highlight po, no, the CIB, some parts of the CIB will be also depending on the institution or your school or your university. So please keep in mind that what we have provided you is just a sample, but then again, put it in a context of your school so you can practice it in a way that this will be useful in the institution that you belong to. And again, of course, lastly, Sir Leo, I would like to uh, highlight that crafting a CIB will not be an overnight thing. It will be a work in progress. So we are not forcing you to come up with it. I mean, finish it within the day or within the week. Probably the draft will be submitted through Moodle. Tama po?
Yes, ma'am, it will be through Moodle and it will be sent via email. They should expect at the end of our session, our team will work on it and send them the email. Ma'am, I also have, I think I have a question in relation to that. Just, you said that it would have to be contextualized based on their institutions, right? May we know what are the most likely parts of the CIB that would actually change or that they have to focus on in putting in or contextualizing in their own institutions?
That's a great question, Sir Leo. Yes, we would like to highlight some parts. Most of the parts in our CIB will be probably the same, but with the core competencies, it might be different because we have a different. All universities and institutions have different mission visions. So you will probably craft that based on your vision and mission, the core competency. So it might be different. What else? The the teaching paradigm. Let's say, for example, you are not having, you don't have student-centered learning as a teaching paradigm, then probably you can change that into whatever modality or whatever paradigm or learning environment that you are using, or it can also be um, the culture of your school included. You cannot really just copy paste the learning culture of FEU because it will vary depending on your institution. Also, the delivery methods. So there are different ways and it will vary from different institutions, so you can also change that. Another part will be the learning environment. We might not have the same modalities of online learning environment, so you can change that or um, uh, probably edit it based on your university or college. The online learning environment or the engagement that you have, also the assessment methods could be different. So including the grading system, it could be different. So you can always change that based on your schools or institutions' learning system. Another one is the academic policy on academic integrity, because this will basically be in reference to your handbook. So it will be different. On the policy on late submission, this will be up to you. So you can change it. How many points will you deduct if a student will turn in a work late based on your class? So of course, learning content and activities will be different. The course outline. So most of it will be based on the institution, based on your university. So, but the others, of course, the student support will be different, but the others will be likely the same. So just use the skeleton of the CIB and then craft it based on your school's policies.
Also, ma'am, last thoughts. Can we also ask, do you have any tips or certain means on how to improve their CIB?
Thank you, Sir Leo. Yes, when we started working on our CIB, I believe it's very efficient if you work on the course outline first, sorry, the CELO. It's very important to take a look at the CELO and the purpose and goals. And then before you jump into the assessment methods and the course outline itself. Because it's important to align it with the course expected learning outcomes. So it's very crucial that you draft the CELO. If you already have it, then that's wonderful. But then everything else will be based on the CELO. So that's my tip. Number one, align your course outline, of course, your activities. Align it with the CELO. I know you are all experts with this, but it's important that you have the CELO, course purpose and goals before you work on the course outline. Probably you already have the course outline. Just tweak it a little so that it will be perfect or aligned with your CELO. What else? I think it's also important to let the students understand the importance of CIB, especially nowadays. We are doing online learning. Tell them that this will be their quick reference guide, their map, so they will not be lost. Because some of the students, probably if we have experienced this in our class, like we give them the course outline or the syllabus, and then they will just put it in their bag or just use it as a fan or scratch paper. But then again, they don't really see the importance of the CIB because we didn't get to explain it, that this is very precious. It's like you are placed in the entrance of a maze, and this will be serve as your this will serve as your map. So highlight it that this is important. Just go back to it whenever you are lost, whenever you cannot contact me or you have questions, go to CIB.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that insightful remarks about the CIB. I mean, it's really important that we try and connect it with our CELO, especially now that we're trying to apply it in online learning. I believe everyone was able to attend the session given by Sir De Leon about the course expected learning outcomes in the context of online learning, the one that we call Bloom's digital taxonomy. Right? So it's really important, one of the points that ma'am provided is that it's really important that we focus on making a concrete and achievable kind of CELO, especially since the CELO will be used to, we will use the CELO to plan out different activities and assessments, right ma'am? It's something that we need to perfect, or at least at best, something that would be quite achievable and comprehensible to the student, especially since they would often think of the CIB as some sort of filler or just another piece of paper that they can disregard, right? That's the usual mentality of the students. Well, the good thing is they can't really disregard it. It's digital, so they can really crumple it or turn it into a scrap paper. But again, it's important to see here that the CIB is really our way of filling in the gap, right, ma'am? It's our way of filling in the gap on the limitations that, and probably the challenges, okay, that online learning is presenting to us. And if we are able to overcome it, then this would actually make the learning engagement in the online environment more meaningful. I mean, can we imagine that a student is trying to work their way around in the online environment without any form of context? That would be very difficult for the student. They wouldn't know what's happening. They will have a lot of inquiries. In a way, they will probably be dependent on the student. In which, if we try to go back to our previous session, one of the things that a student must be able to imbibe in themselves is to be an independent learner, because that's the challenge, that's the goal whenever we're in the online environment. It's to become independent learners, and I believe that's well, our school also believes that students being able to take hold of their learning is actually the right path. It's an effective way of teaching students how to be good individuals. Okay,
just to answer Leo,
yes, ma'am.
even if we go back to the face-to-face or face-to-face learning environment, CIB will still be very, very useful. Again, FEU's been using this already even before online learning. So even if this is all over, you will still make use of CIB. And again, this will always still be a guide for learners. So this will not just be temporary. You will use it. It's very useful. So what you're learning right now will be very useful even in the future. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. So just to thank you very much, Ma'am Andrea, for sharing a lot of ideas about the course information booklet. Just to wrap up the discussion so far, we have discussed the CIB, its difference when it comes to the course guide and the syllabus. It's also quite different because in context, if we try to put it in the context of online learning, the CIB is supposed to be more detailed and more comprehensive. And it's comprehensive in a way that it also accounts for the agreements, responsibilities, and the guide on how to navigate in the online learning environment. Basically, a CIB in the context of the online learning environment is quite helpful in bridging in the gap between student and teacher in, well, with the challenges posed by online learning. So we would like to thank everyone for participating in our event. We would also like to thank Ma'am Andrea for giving us a very insightful discussion. We would also like to remind everyone to be aware of the following links. Okay, we have a link. Can everybody see the screen, by the way? We have posted in our screen 3 links for number 1, the attendance. Please just access that link for your online attendance. We also have the link for the evaluation form. Okay, please access that as well. And lastly, we also have the link for the next event. So we hope that you access all 3 links in order for us to proceed to our next endeavors. The link for the Moodle, as I have mentioned, will be sent through email by our team. Please send the course information booklet, your draft, in your course information booklet through the Moodle account. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much for attending, everyone.